I can't feel my feet.
I bet you can't feel anything right now. Not even your emotions.
What emotions right now? My emotions are on an all-time high, and I can't feel them.
I've worked bigger shows.
Wow. Coming in hot with this heatness.
Well, with that, welcome back, everybody, to the Backstage Boys Podcast, Supercast, live from
Nashville, Tennessee.
I'm your host, Trent, along with
Basil, and this is episode 20.
And for episode 20, we went epic. We went supercast, super simul, multicast from a different city and a state altogether. We are not alone today. The Backstage
Autobots, roll out.
We're like Voltron, and we all formed into one big super robot here.
That was a Transformer reference, you fucking moron.
I went Voltron because there's 5 of us here today. And with those 5, we are joined by some special guests. Let's go clockwise. That would make it to Basil's left, the one and only...
the Cactus King!
Oh, hey, bitches. Thank you for having me on your podcast.
I'm sure everybody knows that voice. That's a very famous voice in the AEW
Say
and
your
wrestling
name.
Community.
Hi, this is Ryan Wojcik, a.k.a. the Cactus King.
The Cactus King himself. Next is...
Brian, also known as Skull 17.
Skull 17, which Brian's been a guest on the Backstage Boys podcast before.
A couple episodes ago.
And last but certainly not least, maybe least...
A newcomer has entered the arena.
this is his second podcast in 2 days.
Guys,
actually.
I get to be here.
And you are...
I'm Nate.
This is Nate.
What do you do, Nate?
Not just Nate.
Why are you special, Nate?
Tell us who you are,
He's
Nate.
smiling like a
I'm
little kid.
referee.
He's a referee.
Hey!
Steadfast Nate Speckman, referee extraordinaire. Who do you ref for really quick? Just name him off quick.
Wrestling Revolver, Warrior Wrestling, AAW Rockstar Pro.
Then I get
Wow,
that.
stacked.
Building a resume. So we're in Nashville, and we decided to supercast this for episode 20 because we all drove down here.
I thought this was episode 12 or 16.
This is episode 13.
This is episode 13 6 times. 6 times.
7 times now.
7 times, which
And
makes
Instagram
episode
is
20.
coming next week.
Wow.
You just keep taking our bits from us.
Wow.
You just stole our bit. Thank you very much.
I just want to go back and edit this.
Edit the
Five.
just end it now. End it, sorry.
That's it. We're over.
But we all drove down here from Chicago to attend Impact Wrestling's homecoming pay-per-view and the TV tapings, which would debut on the Pursuit Network. And which was just announced this weekend. Brian's wearing a hoodie of this brand. Twitch will simulcast Impact weekly from now on. So we were there for the first tapings for that. We are in a badass Airbnb, which we all, I think, wouldn't mind moving into. This place is pretty cool.
I want to live here.
Everybody wants to live here, especially Cactus King.
Good for a king.
It's fit for a king.
Dude, we just, summer home. I'll
Summer.
split
I
it,
think we're
Airbnb it, and then when we want, we just come whenever.
I think we're gonna all buy this place out.
Let's
But
do it.
so
have
it
no
was
money.
a special weekend here. Basil's debut as an Impact Wrestling photographer. He was ringside. If you saw the pay-per-view, you saw Basil basically running away from Brian Cage.
And Abyss was chasing me.
Abyss tried to kill him. But Basil was this was your night, man. This was your weekend. I mean, I was there. I'll tell why I'm there, but we'll start with you because this yours is the anchor here. What was it like? What was the experience like? Talk about it.
I don't know what just happened.
All right, forget it. Then.
No.
I forgot
It was, man, it was an experience. Like, I did not know what to expect going in, but it's a lot of hours. There's way more than just the couple hours you guys see on TV. Both days I was at Impact were 12-hour long days.
Oh, that's right. Wait,
I had an early call time.
Yeah.
And then I sat in a production meeting each day, and then I would set up. I had this cool little special room. So I had first day on the job, I had my own office.
Look at this guy.
Literally with my own private bathroom
This guy. Egos.
But you had to share
flowing.
the office
with Josh Matthews
with Josh Mack.
and Don Callis.
Did they put you in the stall, like the toilet stall?
No, they actually did not. No, the first day I was with Josh Matthews and Don, and then today was pretty much to myself.
Nice.
But
That office you were in was actually the old heel locker room, the Sports Entertainment Extreme locker room.
Yeah.
From back in the old NWA TNA days. But, so yeah, that was pretty cool. It's pretty surreal to go into that. But yeah, so I mean, overall, your experience, would you say was a good, bad,
it was
loving?
Yeah, I loved it. I want more.
It's a drug.
It's such a drug. All of this is an addiction. I'm sorry if I'm like stuttering and I'm just still
This
at a
makes for
loss for
terrible
words. Like we just got back like an hour ago, not even, and I'm still processing everything right now.
Yep.
I mean, it was a whirlwind 2 days, I think, for everybody. Let alone somebody who had to do as much as you did.
Let's also mention that we were all at Warrior Wrestling the night before we drove down to Nashville.
And left that show at like 12:30.
That's right.
And then started a 5.5, 6 hour drive.
7 hour drive.
7 hour drive. Which Cactus over here looked phenomenal in all the way. He looked like he had just got out of the shower.
It's currently 12:30 on a Sunday or on a Monday.
Monday night.
On a Monday night, and Cactus King looks like it's 8 p.m. on a Friday night.
I'm ready to go out to party.
He literally is. He's going to party.
How about
right
this?
now.
Before we get really more into it, after the pay-per-view yesterday, we all wound up at the Kid Rock's bar for the after party, which turned out... So I was there for a little bit. Brian and I were there for a little bit. But Cactus over here closed it down. Do you want to tell us what that was like at the after party? How much fun you had?
Yeah, it was a blast. It was a lot of fun. A lot of Impact stars there, so it was cool to interact with them.
And they all love you.
Oh, they're all so sweet
They
to
all love
me.
you.
I appreciate it. And the band was great. They had these two female performers.
They gave you a CD, too.
And they gave me a CD because I gave them a lot of money because they kept playing these old like honky tonk songs, which I guess is the gimmick at these bars,
We're
right?
in Nashville.
We are in the South.
We're in the South. Let's not forget that.
So I just told them, I was like, hey, here's $20, play some Kia, right? My neck, my back. And they did. And then I played Lady Gaga and then Madonna, right? So
Cactus ran Nashville.
my goal was to turn it into a gay bar by the end of the night. I almost succeeded.
You almost did. You made a couple of there were a couple of compliments thrown out from you and to you by some of the roster, so you were close to getting it turned into Halstead very quickly.
I got one more night. Don't
One more
forget,
night. He's
not
still
done
going out.
yet.
He is still going out after this. But all right, so
Maybe even halfway through it.
yeah, maybe. So the night before at Warrior, Basil, you took photos. Nate, you refereed.
I did.
And me, Brian, and Cactus were in the audience, just enjoying the show. Talk about your referee experience a little bit at Warrior.
Yeah.
It was Warrior Wrestling 3. Let's put that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were 2 other referees, and there were 9 matches, so I had 3 of them. Mm-hmm. The ones that they had listed out for me at the very beginning, I only ended up doing 1 of them because everything got moved around. I did Jordan versus Kylie for the Progress Women's Championship. I did the 2 out of 3 falls 6-man lucha tag with Pat Monix, Ultimo Dragon, and Daga versus Dragon Lee, Sam Adonis, and
Who was it?
I forget it.
Oh, who was it? You were in the match, man.
Super crazy.
Super crazy. ECW.
Super
legend,
crazy.
Super crazy.
And then I did the Freelance Rumble, which had 12 dudes in it and had
90-second intervals.
90-second intervals, like an actual Royal Rumble, and then there was, but it was pinfall eliminations. So, and I was talking to Basil about this morning. I think, like the other referees that had 3 matches, they just did three pinfalls.
Straight
and that was
matches,
it.
yeah.
I had a 2 out of 3 falls match and a Rumble, and so I counted 15 pinfalls.
Yikes, it's a lot of pinfalls. So you were tired. Basil was doing photos. He was tired. And then we all drove down here. No sleep. You guys, okay, so one car was me and Basil. The other car was Cactus, Brian, and Nate. Did you guys sleep at all? Did anybody sleep?
Not 1 second.
Not 1 second.
I drove the whole way.
You drove the whole way. Basil slept for 2 hours. I slept for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I had to get the 2 hours of sleep.
It was that was nuts.
It was
7
because
hours straight.
If I didn't get the 2 hours of sleep, I would have went into my debut with Impact for a pay-per-view on literally 0 sleep, and I couldn't risk that. Like, I had to get something. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
But it was something.
Your call time was noon, right?
My call time was noon.
And about 2 o'clock, I get a phone call. 1 o'clock that wakes me up because we were trying to get some sleep after we went out for breakfast.
After we went to Cracker.
I get a phone call that says, "Dude, I need you to buy me a black T-shirt."
Yeah, I fucked up. I didn't pack a black T-shirt.
I'm like, "What kind of black T-shirt? An AW shirt? A solid black T-shirt. I can't be on with anything." And I'm like, "Where am I supposed to get that? Just find me a black T-shirt. Bye, I gotta go."
You went to Walmart and then got me that shirt.
I went to Walmart. We struggled to find you a T-shirt. We got you a long sleeve that you can
No,
sweat in.
it was fine. No, because I'm going to use that at GCW this week.
There you go. So
I don't die.
So he doesn't get glass in his arms.
Yeah.
there you go. But so that was great. So we got down here. See, then we went to the Impact. What a blast of a pay-per-view. For me personally, to be in that building after watching it for so long was a bucket list item. I was so happy to get into that building and see and meet a bunch of people that I've been meaning to meet. And
I wanted to ask you, did you feel like, I don't know how to explain it, but like when you walked into the building, did you just get hit with
immediately
like, the memory, everything, like the ghost of everything that's happened there?
For me,
yeah,
absolutely. For me, so me and Ethan Page, we just kind of just like, we were talking for like 20 minutes and we're just like, we just kept looking around and him and I were like, I can't believe this. Like we were like, we can't believe this is happening. Like,
was he a big TNA fan?
Yeah, he grew up on Impact or TNA.
He put a really cool tweet out where he was like, he goes, "Guys, you don't understand. I'm 29, so for me, this was the company I grew up on. So for me to be in the Ultimate X match was like a big deal. Wow. So like that's I think you and I talked about this. Like that's the generation coming up is like the generation who grew up on this company now and Ring of Honor. Yep. You know?
Yeah, I mean, unless you were watching wrestling, like if like our age, like Ethan's 29, I'm 30. Unless you were watching wrestling before you were 10, which not a lot of kids honestly really did. I mean, I did. I mean, we did. I mean, a lot of us. I mean, we did, like the hardcore fans and all that stuff. But there was a lot of kids who got into it maybe when they were 12 or 13.
I got into it when I was 15.
Yeah, so I mean, if you guys were at that age, WCW was would have been basically dead. WWE, like the Attitude Era, was like in the middle of it, but
not in my case because I'm older than everybody in this
room. Yeah, and when you were 12, like the Crockett Era was like just starting.
When I was 12, Luke Fence was just winning his first title.
Did you watch it in color?
No, I barely watched. I barely watched it on
TV. How Trent used to watch wrestling is he would wait for the black and white pictures in the newspaper, and then like a week at a time, and he's like, Bruno Sammartino won again? Wow!
Golly gee willikers!
He said that for 7 years straight as a kid growing up.
That was a good one. But it was very nostalgic for me. Especially the oddest thing that made me hit me that this is the actual building was that red concession stand canopy, because that was all that's been the same. And you'd always see it very rarely in old TNA shows, and it'd be like this concessions canopy in the back. And I was like, what the fuck? I don't know. I just always see it every now and then, and it's the same. They had never changed the artwork on it. It's the same. But I'm like, oh my god, this is the same building.
It's covered in dust.
I know it's such an old building, but it's
no that specific concession.
Yeah, see, it's the same thing, and it's like, man, this is the same building.
Get anything from it?
Yeah. I did, but yeah, that's besides the point. I might die later, but no. It was very, very nostalgic. I loved it. I
will have to say, shout out to Nick from Wrestling Inc. in the middle of the show at the pay-per-view. Got me in a bottle of water because we had no water ringside, and all of like the camera crew and myself, and we were just dying under the lights.
It was hot.
You guys don't understand, like,
no, I
lights are no. I'm saying like Nick for the listeners, yeah. Those lights are hot, especially when you're under there for 3+ hours. Dude, I was soaked through my shirt. So any fans that see that, like, especially WWE, I'm sure is like 10 times worse. But yeah, man, it was insane. But today we had water.
Did you? Yeah, but you're still in long sleeves though today, right?
Yeah. The long sleeves. It wasn't that big of a deal because it wasn't hot out,
and it wasn't as packed as yesterday as the pay-per-view.
Yeah, it wasn't as packed, and then
a lot of other people working ringside had long sleeves too. So.
Yeah, the long sleeves isn't an issue. It wasn't like a sweatshirt. It was just a long sleeve shirt.
I always feel guilty feeling like I'm too hot and sweaty when I see in the middle of July our Cactus King here at Logan Square Auditorium with the leather on because he's like, I'm going out afterwards and I don't care. I still have to be gimmicked up, so I will wear this leather in this 100-degree venue and not even cracking a fucking sweat.
No way. I look good all the time.
I know. I'm saying, like, you never, like, you're still wearing leather, and I'm like, I'm dying. It's so hot in here.
Suck it up, bitch.
I know. But then, like, yesterday, I was sitting there, and Brian's like, aren't you hot in that hoodie? While he was wearing a hoodie. Aren't you hot in that hoodie? I'm like, no.
I wasn't wearing a hoodie. I was wearing the
Oh, that's right. You were wearing that like, half hoodie type of thing. But then I was like, no, if I don't move around too much, I'm fine. but I was getting up to
But
clap.
also, it's like, you ate the Poltergeist hot chicken,
oh my God.
and you're wearing that. So I'm like,
yes,
dying.
Deviation. We went
Guys, shout out to Party Foul.
Party Foul. It's the hot chicken restaurant we went to. They had we got Nashville hot chicken. The different levels were mild, medium, hot, and Poltergeist. Of course, I had to get Poltergeist, and it was fucking hot. It was goddamn deathly hot. I finished up, went to the bathroom to wash my hands first, and then took a pee. And then when we got in the car to go to the venue, my friend was on fire for some reason because the goddamn Poltergeist must have seeped into my fucking hands and that no amount of soap got it off. And I was sitting in the back seat. I didn't tell you guys this. We're driving to the home.
You just told me that you peed fire.
No, I pee fire the next day after it's processed through my system. But my grabbing, going in the bathroom and, holding on and taking a piss, I was sitting in the back seat of Brian's car like, why am I burning down there? This is like, I could have gotten an STD in just like the last 5 minutes.
I like that you called it your friend.
My friend. I'm not
I was
going
going to say there's other things that cause that too, Trent.
I know, but it happened because even though I washed my hands first.
You said you went to the bathroom. What happened on the way to the bathroom?
Several things could have happened. What happens in Nash Vegas stays in Nash Vegas. Isn't that what they say?
No.
Kevin Nash, Vinny Vegas. What?
There you go. Wow, good wrestling tie into that. But yeah, so that thing was hot. That was a really, really hot chicken. And yeah, I peed fire for the next day.
Fire crotch.
Fire crotch.
I'm glad I had the shepherd's pie.
Yeah. But what a blast though. Did you guys know? I want to ask. I know Basil did. Did Brian, Ryan, and Nate? Did you guys watch the old TNA pay-per-views on Wednesday?
Yes, you know this.
I know you did.
We talked about
this.
this.
You do it
for the podcast. They don't know. The listeners don't know.
They don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm used to just chilling, talking, not doing podcasts.
Well, you're on a podcast, so you need to inform the
you
listeners.
need to be on.
We need to be on it.
We have an audience.
On it.
Wait, by the way, can I address our audience? Our last episode was our highest listened to episode.
Thank you guys. I don't know why you but hey.
Like it blew up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So that was insane. Thank you for asking for that.
Yeah, speaking of the podcast really quick, I met up with some guys at Impact tonight and they followed us. They're called the Faction Show. Based out of one guy's from Austin, Texas. The other guy's from Atlanta, Georgia.
We'll be in Austin.
Really chill dudes. And I actually just followed them back right now because I'm just opening up Twitter for the first time.
Everybody else should follow them too.
They're really dope. I'm going to check them out. You guys should too, but just want to give them a shout out.
Thank you very much. They follow us on our...
They followed us. I told them to follow the Twitter, and then I'll get them back.
There you go, guys. Great. So... No, where were we going? I deviated way too much there.
I don't know.
Oh,
You're asking
yes.
Yeah, we got you. Oh, so yeah, with the old Impact.
Wait, I wanted to ask Ryan. Did you watch the old TNA?
I did not. I mean, I've seen some of it, but not in the moment.
Not in the moment?
No.
Like
I used
only?
to save up my allowance to pay for those weekly pay-per-views back in the day.
You should have flown over to Maine and come to my house. I had a cheater box.
Wow, look at this guy.
I didn't know you. I didn't know you 16 years ago.
It worked out that they made you work this weekend, and you kind of worked off all that money you took out of their pockets.
Well, Nate, what happened with you at Impact?
Oh, I found my way backstage.
Should we give it away? I mean, there's some cool stuff. I guess you can.
Whatever, dude.
How about you say...
We're not. He doesn't have to say what happened.
Yeah,
he can just say what his role was.
Say whatever.
Because I'm gonna go into a long tangent about what happened.
So here's the thing: is I will say for any aspiring wrestler or any aspiring referee, manager, wrestling personality, whatever it is, if you want to be a part of a show, just go to it. Just go to it and help. There's always people needing help. They're always going to need you to put up the ring, take down the ring, whatever it is. So I showed up with Basil today at noon. Not just as a random person, by the way. I trained to referee under Sammy Callahan and Dave Christ, and they work there, and so they said it was cool.
Connections.
Connections help.
No. We had a very eventful morning. We had it perfectly timed.
Yeah,
too.
It worked even though we couldn't find the building for a second.
We couldn't find the building because the entrance for the fairgrounds kind of sucks, and Google Maps takes you all the way on the opposite side of the building.
Well, the fairgrounds are gigantic. It's a gigantic fairground. I mean, you have to specify which building you're going into. That's the thing.
Well, I just went off the address that was on the off the tickets,
right?
Or that was posted online, and it still takes you to the opposite side.
So we'll go. Let Nate finish here.
Yeah. So I showed up with Basil at the noon call time that he had, and so nobody said anything to me. Nobody, asked me who I was, but I just immediately started helping. The ring was already set up from the pay-per-view, but they were taking all the tape off the ropes, and they were removing the canvas, putting a new one on. Putting up new skirts and everything on the sides of the ring. Mm-hmm. And so
twice because everyone forgot it because the Twitch thing happened last night. The Twitch everything that happened with Twitch literally got finalized last night,
which is awesome. That announcement's huge. But go ahead and finish up, Nate.
So I started helping, even though nobody asked me to, which is another huge thing that everybody should consider. And so. At one point, I was just walking around, helping with, moving stuff around, and then Sanjay comes up and grabs me, and we go backstage, and I'm trying to think about this because I'm also like Basil. It's a lot happened today, and it's hard to process. I just ended up backstage with a headset on. In gorilla position in Bob Ryder's seat. Was
he there?
Yeah.
Oh, he was there?
And and then we're doing a pre-tape where Brian Cage comes up and grabs me, and
you guys will see the rest of it.
Yeah.
So Nate is now an Impact Wrestling superstar. Good for you, man.
Impact Wrestling television superstar.
Shoot badass.
Shoot badass.
Good job.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be the next one to get on Impact TV? Maybe our
walking
gimmick right here.
We got two birds with one stone. Yeah. So I'll give you guys pretty much a rundown. So I get, like Nate said, we get there at noon. I sit in a production meeting for about an hour, and then I go to set up. I had this special room, and Trent, would you like to tell him what the significance of this room is?
So the room, if you watch the old NWA TNA pay-per-views, it was the heel locker room, which also became the Sports Entertainment Extreme locker room.
Didn't you just mention that?
Not here?
Yeah, you said it at the top.
Well, he told me to say it again.
We'll say it again.
Oh.
Well, I'm saying it again. Who cares? We do this a lot. It's our podcast.
So it's on the other side of the main entrance where, the heels would come out and stuff. So that was a trip for me to be in. But anyway, go on.
So I set up there for portraits pretty much all day. And the first day I shared the room with Josh Matthews. He was kind of just going over the pay-per-view and doing some other notes and watching football games because it was playoff season time, and we were all wondering.
Scott Demore apparently is a huge Bears fan, and was devastated by that loss.
Dude, I was so upset because
I was just watching the clip on my phone.
Well, the thing is, I'm going to say this right now: the kick was blocked. It wasn't
It did get tipped a little bit, yeah.
It got blocked.
Just the tip.
Just the tip.
Literally, just the tip.
So yeah, for the first 5 hours, I was running around doing portraits, and then I also did, there was the VIP thing that happened at the pay-per-view. Photographed that, and then by the time that was all done, we get to the live show. And holy shit, is taking pictures for a TV show a million times harder than taking pictures at an indie show.
Yeah.
Because at an indie show, I pop down in my corner. I'm allowed to sit wherever the fuck I want to be as long as I'm not on hard cam. And I take pictures. And then thank God that I even made this mention to you of how WWE photographers work. And so I kind of had an idea, and I really think that helped. The first day yesterday for the pay-per-view, which making a debut with a company on a pay-per-view...
Pretty nuts, man.
Pretty fucking stressful.
Yeah, I would say so.
And I kept making mistakes, the first 2 matches.
Yeah.
And then I got in my groove. But pretty much, you can't just sit on a corner and then take pictures. We're with an indie show, they don't care if you showed up on camera or whatever. It's not that big of a deal. But with TV, it is a big deal. They don't want to see photographers. Unless you're New Japan, they don't want to see photographers on the ring.
Yeah.
So you pretty much have to stand behind a cameraman.
I noticed you did that today a lot.
Yeah, you have to stand behind the cameraman, and then you take pictures. So yesterday, there was just a lot of sporadic movements.
Yeah.
And I was just not used to it, but the guy said I did good. I'm hoping he wasn't
We think you did good.
I don't know. I really am not happy with my performance on the pay-per-view.
Really?
I don't know. I'm very hard on myself. I'm happy with the pictures. But I'm just not happy with not how I acted. I'm trying to just how I was working. I think it was because I didn't know.
Was your first time?
It was my first time. I know that, but
You didn't know what?
I didn't know movements and stuff and how everything worked properly. So I pretty much stayed on one side of the ring. Thank God they didn't have a hard camera facing the entrance, because that makes my life a lot easier when it's like that.
I think Ryan was going to say something.
Yeah, well, I believe in you, Basil.
Thanks, buddy.
And I took a couple photos as a fan during the show, and I literally will not show them to you because I know that your photos are of such superior quality.
No, stop,
it would be embarrassing.
No.
Yes, I was like, oh, this is a cool photo. I'm not going to show Basil.
No, you can show me photos. I would not tear apart a fan photo.
But I think that underscores the level of your talent.
No, it wouldn't.
Very talented.
No,
you should. No.
You
take great photos.
Did you show up as a fan or as a worker?
As a fan.
Okay, what is your job as a fan to do?
To sit there, cheer, boo,
take pictures with your phone,
exactly.
right?
And look good.
So why in the hell would I bash you for that?
Well, you better not bash me too hard, but
I wouldn't at all.
I'm saying that there's a reason why you're around that ringside and so many other people are taking photos on their phone all around. Right? He's talented.
He used to be that guy.
And I bet all those listeners that are listening right now,
all 12 of them,
when the photos come out, they can go and check out the photos for themselves, and I guarantee they're going to be impressed.
That's right. Even I was talking to. I told you I was talking to Ross Foreman, who's their head of media relations and all that, and he was like, "Oh, the lighting on the meet and greet photo wasn't great. I hope I didn't make it too tough for Basil." I go, "If anyone can make those pictures look good, it's this guy right here. He'll fix it." I said, "Don't worry, your picture's in great hands." Basil hates compliments, and that's why he's so bashful and he's so uncomfortable right now. Oh my God, how? Why do you hate compliments?
A picture of Basil taking a picture of Conan.
Look at this. We're looking at it live with that concession stand in the background.
That's so dope. I like that. That's cool.
Let me see this. This is cool. We're looking at... did you take this, Nate?
Yeah.
Nate took this. It's a picture of
No,
Basil.
he stole it off the internet. Everyone's like, look at Basil taking pictures.
With that concession stand in the background. That one concession stand I talked about in the background. It was today or was this yesterday? Tonight.
Was that... Yeah, that was tonight.
That's really cool.
I can't... Everything's a blur right now, but...
What a show, though,
Conan
guys.
wasn't on the show last night.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he was. He came out
He
at
came
the end of the tag match.
He came out.
What a show, though. I loved it.
It was fantastic. We're not going to really go over results.
No, we don't have to go results. I'll be doing that on my Impact podcast.
Yeah, he's got
Total Nonstop Impact is the podcast. I'll be breaking it down with my co-host Kyle there.
Yeah, this is just more talking about.
This is our trip. This is our vacation.
This is a vacation trip,
with our pals.
and we're still giving you that backstage perspective that you guys love.
That's exactly.
So we got you covered. We wouldn't let you guys down.
So the cool story, post pay-per-view, you came back to edit photos. We all went out to
I
Broadway.
literally edited the entire fucking pay-per-view on 2 hours of sleep for 48 hours. I felt like...
In how much time?
It took me about 2.5 hours. And
Not
I
bad.
was adamant.
Dead.
Yeah.
So we went out for a little bit. We started off at Robert's Western World on Broadway, which is my go-to spot to start with. Nate took off shortly after that first bar.
Yeah, I was tired.
He was a little tired.
Nate
He
came
was
back
seasonally
and then
tired.
Nate came back and we were both like in zombie mode.
So we stayed on. So we did that. Cactus is the party animal, so he led the parade. He was the core. He was the marching band leader on this one. So we're walking down Broadway, just kind of popping into other stuff, and we're walking past the Jason Aldean's bar, and Eric from Warrior Wrestling starts yelling out to us like, "Hey guys!" So Eric and Steve from Warrior Wrestling were in town as guest producers of Homecoming. So they call us over. We hang out with them. Awesome band playing at Aldean's that night. And we're hanging out with them. But before that, as we were walking across the street, and Eddie Edwards and Moose were passing by us in the intersection, and Eddie slapped me on the chest and he goes, "What's up, man?" I'm like, "Oh, shit." So I told Steve that, hey, we just passed Eddie and Moose with the whole crew. And Steve's like, "Let me text him and get him over here." He texts them. They come over, and they wouldn't let Moose in because Moose had sweatpants on.
Didn't meet the dress code.
Didn't meet the dress code of a fucking country bar on a Sunday night in Nashville. They said, this celebrity has sweatpants on, he can't come in. There were a dozen wrestlers who were going to drink and spend money, and they're like, "Nope, we're not going to let you in." So we all took off out of there, ended up at Kid Rock's bar, and it was a total blast. Total blast. We left Bryan and I left a little early, and Cactus closed that sucker down.
Yeah, I can't talk a big game then go home.
I understand.
No way.
I
closed
understand.
it down. They had to kick me out.
They kicked you out, and the whole Impact roster loves them more for it. But we got to talk with some of them. They were so cool. I got to really chat up with Eli Drake. Hopefully we can do something with Eli down the line in Chicago. I'd love to get him out, because he was even saying, he's like, "Who would I work at AEW?" I said, "I'll give you a microphone. I'll give MJF a microphone. And you guys can just have at it for 20 minutes and get over like a motherfucker." And he was like, "I like that idea." I was like, "Great." So hopefully we can get it. That'd be amazing. I definitely am going to make a huge push for Eli Drake to come out to Chicago. I think he'd be great. I think
That would be awesome.
People would love Eli Drake. He's great. But yeah, I mean, I'm on such a high from it. It was a great time. Yes.
Eli Drake.
Sorry, I apologize.
Tell me.
Yeah.
He also wrestles in Jordans, which I think is great. He wrestles in J's. That's probably the most comfortable wrestling shoe you can wrestle in.
Yeah,
Aside from a Reebok Pump.
there was quite a bit of wrestlers. Moose used to wrestle in Jordan.
Yeah, that's right. He did too.
But now he's a professional, and
Yeah,
he
he
wrestles in boots that take him 30 minutes to put on.
Yeah,
His airbrush boots.
His airbrush.
Fancy
He's got like
boots.
3 pairs of them in his bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's Moose is a fancy guy now. So he has custom gear for every show at this point. But yeah, man. I mean, that was, like I said, we're not going to break down every match. I'll do that on the Total Nonstop Impact pod. But this is just the experience. It was just cool to see friends working at Impact. You know, you guys being involved, you two being there, us watching from the crowd, cheering you guys on, enjoying the show.
Yeah. And I will say, though, TVs is a lot more... There's a lot more to do than a pay-per-view. Pay-per-view, because kind of every...
Well, TV segmented.
Well, no, I know that, but like the reason why like I said, coming in on my first day on a pay-per-view isn't a good idea of how to judge how a company is ran.
Yeah.
Because everybody is going over their matches, everybody's trying to make sure everything is perfect. Nobody has time to do anything else.
Right.
Today, I was 10 times busier doing TV than I was doing pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Because with the TV, I did portraits for literally 4 hours straight.
And they look good, everybody.
So
your portraits will probably be used for promotional, match graphics, that kind of thing. So
I hope
2019,
maybe.
I mean, we're expecting. Hopefully, it happens. All the promotional photos of the roster will hopefully be yours. Would you be able to tell? Maybe you'll be able to tell, right, when you see them.
Yeah, I'll be able to tell with some of them.
Yeah, so that should be cool. We met some really cool people. We got to meet a lot of the crew, a lot of the wrestlers, a lot of our friends from Chicago. A lot of our buddies, as you call them, Ryan, the buddies.
Wrestling buddies.
Wrestling buddies.
Buddies.
Yeah.
We got to meet a lot of them, see them in another city, which I think is always fun. I got to see my pal Samantha Heights after a long time. We were so happy to see each other.
Oh, dude, I was so happy to see her.
I was so happy to see her. I was like, oh my god, I haven't seen you in like 6 months. Now I've seen you 2 days in a row. What the hell's happening?
Isn't she the best kind of human?
She is.
She's so sweet.
She's
She is.
Sweetheart.
Speaking of the best kind of human.
Uh-oh. What do we got?
Oh, dude, Killer Cross.
Go kill it. You're going to kill his...
No, it's
Just killed his gimmick.
I killed it. No, but genuinely, he's a good person. There was Bram I met.
Bram's great.
Bram was a great person to meet. Tessa was awesome this weekend. Jordan Grace, Cage, obviously. Dude, there was just so many good people.
The Impact roster has always been such a friendly roster, and we know some of them as a crossover.
Well, I would say I don't know about 2011 through 12. That was kind of a.
I met a lot of them at those times. They were always a very social roster to me. But I mean now I think they're even cooler. They're younger. Everybody's hip. It's a
they're
happy
jive.
Yeah,
they were a lot of fun at the bars last night.
That's for sure. You even got to hang out with Eddie Edwards' brother last night. That's the best part.
Yeah, he's sweetie. He's so fun.
But also, management, I feel, was really,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I worked...
They didn't seem to be, stressed or... Sure, I'm sure they were stressed, but they didn't show it, or, they didn't seem like they were under, an immense amount of pressure. Everybody, Don Callis was super nice. Josh Matthews was super nice. Sanjay Dutt, super nice.
Sanjay was so cool. I never met Sanjay before, and he was just super polite. He was just a good dude. But I worked under Josh Matthews these last 2 days, and
he gets a bad rap, but he's a smart guy.
He gets a bad rap, but man, his communication with me was great. Anything that he needed, he was pretty straightforward. Mm-hmm. Like you were saying, with Ross was like, "Yo, I need you for this or I need you for that," and I go, "Okay." Yeah. I was just yes manning it all weekend. Yes, man. I do not care. I yes manned it so many times because I'm trying to earn my keep. Yeah, and
I think he did pretty good.
I wanted to hopefully make this into a future position.
I think he did pretty damn good. So it was definitely fun. The crew. I got to see Scott D'Amore again today, which is nice.
Scott D'Amore also very nice.
Scott D'Amore is so dope.
Scott D'Amore is a
Don Callis as well.
Callis is the only guy even between Bound for Glory in New York and here. I've just never had time with Don.
Well, Don walked into the portrait room today.
Yeah, and
he saw us all. He goes, "Oh, what a bunch of marks." And then, wow, no, he just saw us, and then I think he was on a phone call.
He was on a phone call, and he saw us, and he's just like, oh, not here.
He's like, oh, no.
Was he just looking for a quiet room?
Yeah, he was just looking for a quiet room.
He's a polarizing figure, though.
He really is, and it's weird to say, he's kind of, I don't know, not rude, but he's just very straightforward. He's very all business.
He's a businessman. He's a sharp, protected businessman.
Yeah, and he cares about the product a lot. So
he's a sharp guy, though.
All I can say is I have a newfound appreciation for TV production. If this is Impact, I'm just trying to understand how big WWE is.
It's infrastructure, right? It depends how much. It's all relative to what you do.
Oh, I know that, but I'm just if this was as demanding as it was, I can only imagine if you got bigger.
Right, but you also have double the amount of people at that point.
No, I'm not saying that it's still easy, but
I know. I'm just saying it's interesting to see how the bigger it is, the more the more moving parts are involved.
Yeah,
too.
I feel like an indie show now is going to be like the easiest thing
Oh, yeah.
ever after this.
You were gonna say something, Nate?
I've been backstage at WWE a couple of times, and it's even bigger. Like if you try to conceptualize the backstage chaos, it's even bigger than you think it is.
I imagine, yeah. Which is fun. Yeah, like we're gonna go back to AEW. Like this is a breeze. Only 11 matches.
No, today was.
I'll do it in my sleep.
How many matches?
Today was 11 matches.
Today was 11. Yeah.
So
TV tapings.
let's talk about the TV tapings because something interesting happened. It's gonna get out there. It's the internet, so we might as well talk about it.
I would not bring it up here. Why are we gonna give something away?
No, it's because it's already on the internet. What happened at the tapings? Like not spoiler wise.
Yeah, don't give any spoilers away.
No, I'm gonna talk. Okay, so in the middle of Eli Drake's entrance.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The power went out today.
Of the building.
Yeah. And as Trent brought it up, this is my second power outage in the last 6 months.
Yeah, so Basil works AEW LaSalle and the power goes out, and he works Impact in Nashville and the fucking power went out. So I'm like, obviously the common denominator here is Basil. So
I was both of those things too.
yeah, that's right.
Wow, Brian, thanks.
You're welcome.
But you didn't work this show.
Yeah.
So
He said
Oh, that's
there,
true.
didn't even mention work.
But it was weird because you could tell like the secondary lights went on, so like it wasn't total loss, but like it was the power that generated it. It was what powered up the truck and all the production, and it just oddly went out. I would say they covered it so smoothly because like Eli kind of stalled for time. It's live to tape, so they're taping it anyway. So it wasn't the pay-per-view. Eli kind of bought some time until he figured out what was going on. Dreamer came out, said, "We have a power issue. We're going to send another match out. While we figure out what's going on." They sent the match out. It was Crazy Steve making a return.
They sent Crazy Steve, who's half blind, to wrestle in the dark.
Crazy Steve has terrible eyesight. I knew a girl who was really good friends with him, and she said he is completely like damn near blind.
He's legitimately blind.
Yeah, I heard that's like that's a shoot. Like that guy can't see anything, but he's not a bad wrestler. But
No, he's great.
so him and I forgot the other guy's name. What was the other guy?
Logan James.
Logan James.
The next superstar.
The next big thing, Logan
Yeah.
James. They wrestle for TNT, Tried and True Wrestling in Nashville here. But so it was a Tried and True showcase match, which was nice. But they definitely kept everybody entertained on the high until they figured out the power. About 15, 20 minutes total, they got the power back on. Everything was fine. So,
but it was great for me because Impact, like the tapings are a lot longer than just a normal show.
Yeah.
So I got to do a memory card dump.
Yeah, it worked out.
It worked out great for me. Like, it was a good break that I needed, actually.
Yeah.
Like, I was starting to take pictures of the match, but I was just like, the match is not going to be aired. I actually offered to record. They're like, nah, they can't use just a one regular cam.
Yeah.
And I was
surprised
like,
they didn't want a documentation of it, though.
no, yeah, so...
Well, it just sucks for Logan James.
Yeah.
Because there was none of the cameras were working.
Yeah.
So the
It's
like
the definition of a dark match.
so
only people
it was a
in the building that
legit
night.
That's
dark
true, though.
match.
That is legit.
It was a legit dark match because the building lights went out and
They had, like I said, they had secondary lights on. That was it.
but
So-
it was the only reason I knew it wasn't being taped is I saw the hard camera, like there was nobody manning the hard camera, and I was like, this is like an opportunity for me to take a break. So I ran to my portrait room and did my memory card dump there, and I was kind of thankful for it.
Yeah, that makes it more suspicious. It makes it look more like you're the one who cut the power, Basil.
I did cut the power.
was
It was
watching-
me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin.
I'm watching Ryan's face as you're like breaking down what's going on. He's like,
Which cord did you pull?
All of them. I didn't know there was like a red one. There was a black one, and
I think they did a fantastic job in at least keeping us entertained. And you know, as how cool is this? As an apology for like that 20-minute delay, they gave us all a free 2019 Impact calendar, which I think was great.
yeah, it was.
It's
It
awesome.
was a good. Like the PR team was fantastic. I dealt with all of them. They were great to deal with all weekend. Everybody was just so super polite and cordial.
Great team.
I don't have a bad thing to say about anybody, and that goes to the roster. It was just a fantastic show all around, from management to the extra help. Like yesterday, Josh was like, "Yo, here's some extra helpers. Like, have them do whatever you need them to do." And I was like,
rookies? Like just students?
Yeah, they were just students, and I was like, "Okay, I need you guys to set up my light kit for me."
Oh, that's cool.
They set up the back banner. I needed help setting that up. But
I love when students come to shows. It's like, I need you to unload. You see that whole truck? Unload it.
To go off of
Meet me here when you're done.
But to go off of what Nate said.
Like,
to go off of what Nate said.
Are you done yet?
Always bring yourself and your gear.
Yes.
Because
and some piss and vinegar, kid. You gotta get in there and make the best out of your opportunities, right? Right? Am I right?
I wouldn't want to drink piss and vinegar, dude. That's kind of gross.
It's an old man saying, man.
I know.
Piss and vinegar.
Yeah. Did you read that in the newspaper article that when you read Bruno Sammartino's defense in 1974?
It was Buddy Rogers' defense in 1963 that I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Nerd.
Nerd. Here comes the nerd.
But yeah, that was... I mean, obviously we're not going to give away any spoilers from the TV tapings, but we just wanted to give you that little bit because this is Backstage Boys, guys, and...
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to try to get a photo of everybody while we're doing
we're going to photo while we...
live
Photo while we cast.
Look at this, everybody. Live from Nashville. There we go. But yeah, we wanted to document
Is the pizza
this.
here, Brian?
We ordered pizza.
We ordered pizza. This podcast goes until the pizza comes.
They got 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
We got 10 minutes to fill. What the fuck?
Well, Cactus is itching to get to Broadway, I think.
Yeah,
Cactus,
man, I'm
get
going
the-
out partying. I'm not eating pizza.
He can't be. He can't be having no carbs and fat right now.
No way.
We should let him get a start on Broadway. Come on.
Brian, we appreciate you. Go party, my friend.
fuck
Go
out.
Call
party.
your Uber.
Well, bye, my backstage boyfriends. This is a lot of fun.
Do you want to tell the people where they can find you?
Not on Twitter.
Not on
Oh,
Twitter.
it's always such a hard time because I don't have a Twitter.
How about your
Hey,
Insta?
hey, are you getting that Twitter next week?
I will get a Twitter next week.
Next week.
Yes,
What about on the call ride?
Screw you, Nate. Got that plug in.
Where can they find you on Instagram?
Yep, it's at Cactus_King.
Cactus King. Find him on there. Connect with him. When you see his face, you'll be like, "Oh my god, that guy!"
You're like, he's so cute.
He's cute. He's a very good-looking man.
Ryan is Cactus King's about to get some DMs.
DMs. There's about to be a lot of sliding in your
We
DMs.
might even take off the M.
Ooh.
A lot of D, not so many M's. But yeah, we will. If you are heading out to Broadway, be safe. Say hello to our Impact roster to us.
Yes.
Very well.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Ryan.
But yeah, let's
Should we wrap too?
let's wrap this up. Let's wrap
it
this
up.
up.
All right, let's do this. We'll go around to everybody where they can be found.
Brian?
where can they find you?
Twitter at Skull17 and twitch.tv/Skull17.
What about you, referee?
Twitter at Ref Nate Speckman.
When's that Instagram coming?
Probably tomorrow in the car ride home.
Oh! He fucking got us.
You mean today in
Can't connect
5
with
hours?
me.
Wait, is that a shoot?
Yeah, I think it's a
Attaboy.
Fucking Trent the other day was like, "Get on there."
I take pictures of
here's
you
what I
and
said.
they do nothing.
Here's what I said. I'm like, just get it. You don't even have to post. I'll just something I can tag you in.
But if you post, I go to your website and I steal them all.
I know, but they don't go anywhere.
So let me.
I have them.
I know,
My
but
phone.
now you can post them for your
yeah,
Instagram.
So do that. You can find me solo.
Yeah. You
Good.
have to click. You have to click on your
Oh
touch
my
screen
God.
without any physical buttons. You fucking lazy
Jeez.
shit.
All right, you can find me solo on Twitter and Instagram at Vanilla Joke. Connect with me there. What about you, Basil? Where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram and Twitter at BZ. That's a B, 2 E's, 4 Z's, and a Y. And then my photo website is basilmahmood.com. BASILMAHMUD.com.
Extracurricularly, you can find me at heavymusic.com. That's my band. And the Total Nonstop Impact podcast, which is the Impact Review podcast I do weekly. On all social medias, type in We Talk Impact.
Hey, Kyle, where the fuck are you?
Yeah, Kyle, you son of a bitch.
You stupid shit.
But you can find this podcast at the BSB Show on Twitter and Facebook. And Basil, that Instagram, is that ready or what?
We've been over this multiple times today. I said it's coming next week.
Next week. I'm just refreshing the...
okay, I'm refreshing the audience that it is coming
So next week, the BSB Show on Facebook and Twitter. In the meantime, you can find this podcast wherever podcasts are found, on Apple iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, and now Spotify. Rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell your grandmother. I don't give a shit. Tell somebody. Let them know what we're doing here. Because last week's episode was the highest listened to and rated episode of all time. So
thanks, guys.
Let's make episode 20 even bigger. Guys, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. What a party we had over here. This is fun. I hate to see this weekend end, but we're going to do this again sometime. Onwards to the next AEW show. And anything else, Basil? Am I forgetting anything else?
No, let's go. Let's get some pizza.
Pizza's here. See you later.
Bye,
Catch you
guys.
next week. Bye.